keep it in the middle though? I can't see it otherwise.
This?
Yeah. No, you want to take that out?
Yeah, I want to take it out,
Take it
but
out.
is it okay?
Yeah.
I just need to stick it back on, right? Like if it's good.
But just make sure I can see it. Don't cover it. Don't cover it.
I'll move it. I'll move it. She'll move it back. Do I need to stick my mic back on?
Who's next? National anthem? No, you don't. Yeah, it works better.
My mom just waved.
Thank you for joining us for today's UN Day celebrations. My name is Haley Kim, and on behalf of UNIS Hanoi, we would like to welcome Mr. Nguyen Minh Vu, Vice President of Ministry of Foreign Affairs, our distinguished guests, parents, faculty and staff, UNIS Hanoi alumni, and last but not least, UNIS Hanoi students from 63 different nations, aged 3 to 18 years.
Welcome to our UN Day celebration in partnership with the United Nations and Vietnam. My name is Olivia Kim, and I'm honored to be one of your Masters of Ceremony today.
And I am Joseph Schmidt. And along with Haley and Olivia, we are the Secretary Generals for UNIS MUN's Mall United Nations. I, too, am very honored to be co-hosting this very special UN Day celebration, celebrating the theme, Global Changemakers, Building a Better World Together.
But before we start, some housekeeping notices. In the unlikely event of an emergency, a path will be cleared for all emergency exits, both at the front and the rear of the sports center. Please use the exit closest to you and follow any instructions you are given.
And a note to all proud parents. We would respectfully ask you to stay in your seats throughout the ceremony, turn off the sound on your phones, and limit your filming and photography. All professional photographs will be made available to you free of charge, and the event will be recorded. Thank you for your understanding.
Our audience will be able to listen to this assembly in their preferred language using Wordly AI. Please feel free to find the QR code with step-by-step instructions in your program. Thanks to everyone in our community whose generous support made this possible.
Now, please stand for the Vietnamese national anthem, Tiến Quân Ca, performed by Đậu Gia Bách and Kiều Xuân Nam Khanh, with the UNIS Hanoi Symphonia, led by Dr. Celine Hong.
Đoàn quân Việt Nam đi chung lòng cứu quốc, bước chân dồn vang trên đường gập ghềnh xa, cờ in máu chiến thắng vang hồi nước, súng ngoài xa trên khúc quân hành ca, đường vinh quang xây xác quân thù, thắng gian lao cùng nhau lập chiến khu. Vì nhân dân chiến đấu không ngừng, tiến mau ra xa trường, tiến
Thank you, Do Zabike and Kyoson Namkhang, and the musicians of the UNIS Symphonia.
Today's assembly embraces the theme, Global Changemakers, Building a Better World Together. We'll explore how our voices, when united, can inspire positive change and build a better world. You will hear from our students across elementary, middle, and high school, and we'll all enjoy some wonderful musical performances. But first, we're honored to invite to the stage United Nations Resident Coordinator, who will share opening remarks with our community. Please welcome to the stage Ms. Pauline Tamesis.
Deputy Foreign Minister Nguyen Minh Vu, a very close friend of the United Nations, to the members of the board of UNIS, administration, alumni, faculty, and most especially the UNIS students. Xin chào. Good morning to everyone. I'm sure everyone knows that 2 weeks ago, we had the privilege of having the UN Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, here in Hanoi for the signing ceremony of the UN Convention Against Cybercrime, and also to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the UN. It was a very special moment for all of us, especially because the Secretary General holds a very special affection for Vietnam. And because the Secretary General has this special affection for Vietnam, it was really a meaningful experience for all of us in the United Nations. And I wanted to share with you one important lesson that I learned from the Secretary General's visit. In one word, the most important lesson is humility. I learned from the Secretary General that even the world leaders don't have all the answers. They listen, they ask questions, and they learn from others. Very similar to what you do here in UNIS. So the UN came to Vietnam not to teach the country lessons, but here we came to help Vietnam reach sustainable development goals and its national development priorities. Vietnam is very rich in history, has strong capabilities, has a bold vision, and is booming with new ideas. It is also a country that is very committed to the UN. So we, the UN, are honored to support Vietnam in its journey to become a high-income country by 2045 and achieve its climate ambition, its net zero targets, by 2050. And this is why the lesson of humility is very special for us in the UN here in Vietnam. Humility is necessary in a world where everything is changing, especially because when the UN was created 80 years ago, it was a very different world. Even in this rapid change and everything evolving and everything uncertain, the UN is committed to uphold the values that keep us together. We are committed to uphold the UN Charter. At the same time, we are determined to change. We are determined to transform our ways of working, to learn better, and to listen more deeply to most of you, if not all of you, who comprise the United Nations. In this spirit of solidarity and in reaffirming our commitment, may I invite 3 volunteers who will help me deliver the rest of my speech. Chao An Ngok, Sung Ya Yu, and Harriet Smith. Can you come join me in the center, please, of the stage? our volunteers will help me, and I need your help too. They will each ask you one question, and I want all of you to say these two words, "We promise." Can we try that? Can you say "we promise" on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Okay, you're ready. May I ask Chawan to ask the first question?
Do you reaffirm belief in fundamental human rights, in the dignity and worth of the human person, in the equal rights of men and women and of nations league, large and small?
1, 2, 3.
Do you promise to build a just world that respects the obligations from treaties and international law?
I think we can do better. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Harriet?
Do you promise to promote social progress and better standards of life in larger freedom?
We, the peoples of the United Nations, we have just promised to build a better world together. This is what the UN stands for. Thank you, and happy birthday, UN. Wait, we have to take a selfie. Thank you.
Thank you for those inspiring words. And now, we are delighted to welcome to the stage our head of school, Dr. Elizabeth Scale, to officially welcome our community both here and those of you joining us on the live stream.
Just gotta take this moment in for a minute. This is amazing. Shin King Chao, Kak Vi Kak Kui, Kak Zao Vien, Nien Vien, Kak Fu Huing, Va, Quan Chao Niet, La Kak M Hak Sing. Good morning, Vice Minister Vu, Excellencies, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, and most importantly, our students. Today, we come together to celebrate United Nations Day, a moment to honor how far humanity has come and to recommit to the world that we will shape together. This year's global theme, Building Our Future Together, carries special meaning. It marks 80 years since the founding of the United Nations in 1945. 80 years since leaders of a war-torn world gathered around a table to imagine something better, something more hopeful, something united. And here we are on the campus of the United Nations International School of Hanoi, a living, breathing embodiment of that very dream. When I think about the power of days like this, I'm brought back to one of my earliest experiences as a young teacher at another international school many, many years ago. And it was my first UN Day assembly. And I remember standing in the back of the auditorium, watching the students parade across the stage, each proudly carrying the flag of their home country, the music, the laughter, the kaleidoscope of colors. It was absolutely breathtaking. But what moved me the most wasn't the spectacle. It was the spirit of the moment. The way that students cheered not just for their own country, but for everyone's. I remember looking out the audience, just as I'm doing right now, and seeing parents, teachers, students, staff, dressed in the most beautiful and colorful clothing, proudly representing the identities and cultures that they carry. And I remember feeling overwhelmed by the sense of belonging, the pride, the pure joy that filled that space, just as it fills this one today. And it wasn't until I heard the cheers and the applause for every flag, every name, every person that I realized how rare and precious this actually is. How extraordinary it is to be part of a community that goes out of its way to make sure that everyone feels seen, feels valued and included, regardless of nationality, of language, of gender, of race, of religion, differences that in many other parts of the world too often divide us. And in that moment, at my very first UN Day assembly, I thought, this is what the world could be. A world where difference isn't feared or merely tolerated, but celebrated. A world that shows what's possible when empathy replaces indifference and understanding replaces judgment. As members of an international community and as the United Nations International School of Hanoi, we have a tremendous opportunity and an obligation, a responsibility to be an inspirational role model for a better world. To show what it looks like, not only to accept others for their differences, but to celebrate the incredible diversity and beauty of the human race. That day, over 20 years ago, changed the course of my life. I thought that perhaps I'd live outside of my own country for maybe a year or two, but after that assembly, I knew that this was the work that I wanted to dedicate my life to helping young people build a future where understanding triumphs over division and empathy over indifference. Now, 80 years after the birth of the United Nations, we are still learning what it truly means to live up to the word united. And I believe that's where the most powerful word in today's theme lies, not in future, not in building, but in together. Because building our future, as we know, is not a solo act. It's not one nation, it's not one voice, it's not one school standing alone. It's the ultimate act of collaboration, built in the uncomfortable conversations and the moments when we choose listening over shouting, empathy over judgment, and courage over fear. And that is where you, our students, come in. Your generation is growing up in a world that is more interconnected than ever before. You are living proof of what it means to be a global citizen. Students who can talk about climate change one moment, design a community service project the next, create an artwork or a performance that inspires others, and of course speak 2 or 3 languages while doing that. You are, as our friends in the United Nations often remind us, the most connected, the most informed, and the most globally minded generation in human history. And with that connection comes both a challenge and a superpower. The challenge is that the world is really complex, and the issues are big, and it can be and feel very overwhelming. But your superpower, the one that gives me endless hope every day, is your capacity to care deeply, to act boldly, and to imagine, and then to build something better. You already show this every day at UNIS Hanoi, whether it's through your Model United Nations debates, your mentorship and support of students that are younger than you, your sportsmanship and inclusion on the field or on the court, when you stand up for a friend, or when you engage in service learning. Actions that ripple far beyond our campus. And each time you listen deeply, each time you collaborate across cultures or take a stand for something that you passionately believe in, you are building our future together. So on this UN Day, as the flags wave and the anthems play, I want to offer you, our students, both a challenge and a promise. Now, the challenge is to have the courage to see and understand the world's problems and not turn away from them. Have the courage to connect, to listen, and find those who make your light shine brighter. And then have the courage to act, to be the one who says, I can help, or let's work together. And the promise that we have for you is that this community, your school, will always be a place that believes in you, that nurtures your compassion and your voice, and that reminds you every single day that you are not just part of the future, but you are shaping it right now. So as we celebrate 80 years of the United Nations, let us remember that the future is not something that simply happens to us. It's something that we create, one act of kindness, one partnership, and one shared dream at a time. So today, let's recommit to building that future with open hearts, with bold imagination, and with an unwavering belief that the world we want is possible if we build it together. So thank you. Thank you to our students for being the builders, the dreamers, and the change makers that our world needs so deeply. Shingaman. Shingaman, Takai, Moi Noi, Va, Shinchukmung, Nyai, Lien, Hapkwak. Happy United Nations Day, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Gale. UN Day at UNIS Hanoi is a time to celebrate our unique identity as one of only 2 United Nations international schools in the world. Our theme this year, Global Changemakers, Building a Better World Together, reflects our shared commitment to using our voices and our actions to make a difference for everyone's future.
As we reflect on the role we all have in shaping a shared future, let us celebrate the beauty of our diversity. Now, join us in welcoming the Parade of Nations, which honors all 195 member and observer states of the United Nations from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe.
UNIS Hanoi truly brings the world together every day. Today, we celebrate unity in diversity and recognize how our collective voices from 63 nations are a powerful force for good.
Let us celebrate each nation represented in the vibrant mosaic of our school community, starting with Angola.
Australia!
Austria!
Belarus.
Belgium!
Brazil!
Brunei Darussalam.
Cambodia!
Canada!
China.
Costa Rica!
Croatia!
Cuba.
Cyprus!
Czech Republic!
Denmark.
Ethiopia!
Finland!
France.
Germany!
Greece!
Grenada.
Hungary!
India!
Indonesia.
Ireland!
Israel!
Italy.
Japan!
Kuwait!
Kyrgyzstan.
Lebanon!
Libya!
Luxembourg.
Malaysia!
Mozambique!
Kingdom of the Netherlands.
New Zealand!
Norway!
Palestine.
Philippines!
Poland!
Portugal.
Republic of Korea!
Romania!
Russian Federation.
Singapore!
Slovakia!
South Africa.
Spain!
Sri Lanka!
Sweden.
Switzerland!
Thailand!
Trinidad and Tobago.
Turkey!
Ukraine!
United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
United Republic of Tanzania!
United States of America!
Uruguay.
Vanuatu!
Vietnam!
The United Nations.
The United Nations International School of Hanoi!
Thank you to all our flag bearers for that spectacular start to our celebrations, and to the musicians of UNIS Hanoi Symphonia, led by Mr. Scott Harbin. And now, we are pleased to welcome our first student speakers. Please join me in welcoming elementary school students Noor Al-Shafahi and Zio Ang Nguyen, reading a series of short poems from anthology Hello Earth, Poems to Our Planet by Joyce Sidman.
Poems to Our Planet by Joyce Sidman. Hello Earth. Hello Earth, it's your children, the human ones. We have been studying you, Earth, but we long to learn more. We want to ask you a few questions. We want to tell you our dreams and wishes. Can you hear us, Earth?
Những bài thơ gửi tới hành tinh của chúng ta. Tác giả Joyce Sidman. Chào trái đất. Xin chào mẹ trái đất. Chúng con là nhân loại, những đứa con của người. Dù đã biết nhiều điều về mẹ, nhưng trong lòng con vẫn khát khao, muốn hiểu thêm biết bao. Chúng con muốn hỏi những câu hỏi, chúng con mong trò chuyện cùng người về những giấc mơ và ước muốn. Hỡi trái đất, người có nghe thấy chăng?
Noisy. Do we ever bother you with our noise, Earth? With our digging and building and shouting and grabbing and rushing around making messes? We want so much for ourselves, Earth. We forget to be happy with what you have already given us.
Tiếng ồn, mẹ trái đất, chúng con có từng làm phiền đến người. Với những tiếng ồn, với đào bới, với dựng xây la lối, với giành giật vội vã quẩn quanh, cùng những ngổn ngang khắp trốn. Hỡi trái đất, chúng con mong muốn quá nhiều cho bản thân và quên đi cách hạnh phúc với những gì được người ban tặng.
Our part. Earth, we are a part of you. We are connected. In taking care of you, we take care of ourselves. Help us remember the quiet daily things we can do to keep your water clean, your air fresh, your soil full of life, to reuse what we already have and leave room for wild things. Do you think we can do it, Earth? Can we work as hard for you as we do for ourselves?
Phần của chúng ta, trái đất thân yêu ơi, chúng con là một phần của người. Với những kết nối không rời, chăm sóc người là chúng con đang chăm sóc bản thân. Xin hãy giúp chúng con ghi nhớ những điều lặng thầm hàng ngày nhân loại có thể làm để giữ cho nước sạch, không khí lành và giữ cho đất mẹ tươi xanh. Tái sử dụng những gì mình đang có, dành khoảng không cho vạn vật trong hoang dã. Trái đất ơi, người có nghĩ chúng con có thể làm được? Những điều khó khăn cho người cũng chính là cho nhân loại chúng con.
Questions and answers. Earth, we know you can't answer all our questions in words. You can answer in other ways. A crackling thunderstorm that shows us each how precious drop of water cycles up and down over and over again. Or a mighty wind that scares us a little. Okay, a lot. And reminds us we are not in charge. Sometimes you answer us gently with the lapping of waves, slow and steady like the beat of our hearts. Maybe your answers are just what we need to make us stop and look and think about how wondrous you are.
Hỏi và đáp. Hỡi trái đất, chúng con biết không dừng những câu chữ, nhưng bằng nhiều cách người trả lời những thắc mắc của chúng con. Tiếng sấm rền trên trời cao đó là những giọt nước quý giá làm sao, lên xuống tuần hoàn không bao giờ ngừng nghỉ. Hay là những cơn gió hoang dã dọa nạt chúng con? Một chút, vâng, thực ra là rất nhiều. Và nhắc rằng con người không được quyền quyết định thiên nhiên. Người đôi lúc đáp lời dịu dàng bằng tiếng sóng biển vỗ về, chậm rãi và vững chãi như nhịp đập trái tim. Có thể câu trả lời của người là điều chúng con cần, khiến chúng con dừng lại và quan sát và nghĩ về sự diệu kỳ của mẹ tự nhiên.
Thank you, Noor and Zio Ang, for reminding us that our voices together can create meaningful change. Now, please get ready for a performance by our middle and high school musicians. Please welcome UNIS Hanoi's middle and high school choirs, high school dance troupe, and accompanying high school instrumentalists, conducted by Miss Colette Aber, performing Cloudy Day by Tones and I.
Am I living? Oh, what a funny thing to say. But there's alive and then there's living. Am I living for today? But I'm getting older. With every memory I live. Now that I'm older, with these moments, will I live with them or just throw them away?
But your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day. But your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day. But your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day. But your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day.
And am I wiser for holding close to friends I made? But if I'm wise, then why is this feeling of the trial that I can't shake?
And I'm getting older with every memory I make.
Now that I'm older, with these moments where I live, if I could just throw them away.
But your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day. But your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day. But your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day. But your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day. But your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day. But your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day.
On a cloudy
But your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day. But your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day. Oh, oh, oh,
on a cloudy day.
Thank you to our talented middle school and high school musicians. We continue with a special message from our middle school student speaker, Myung Hyen Do from grade 8, who will share how small steps can create big changes in making the world a better place.
Ladies and gentlemen, students, faculty, and most esteemed guests, I am Minghuyen Do, an 8th grader at UNIS Hanoi. Have you ever cheered up a friend when they were feeling down, or picked up a piece of litter from the side of the street, maybe even thought about starting a club? These actions, though they may seem small and insignificant, all contribute to making the community a better place. Small actions are what build up a greater impact. I still remember, in grade 6, I joined the Sustainability Club to help with recycling plastic in our botanical garden. I kept wondering to myself, how would this help the world? We were just 7 members. That's when I remembered a small but impactful quote from my 1st grade teacher. Many tablespoons make up a cup. A metaphor for how we can build impact, even as 1st graders. Even if it's just 0.1% of the world, it is still progress in creating a better world. But what exactly is a better world? That is subjective, but I'm sure we can agree on the basics. And it doesn't only have to be based on the SDGs. Yes, the SDGs are important. They provide us with a universal framework on global challenges, but our happiness is also important. Those local or even personal challenges. To make time for personal hobbies, spend time with loved ones, they all help boost your happiness. And doesn't that feel like a better world? The time we're able to spend with our loved ones, the small actions within our daily lives, those things can create a better life for us, and in turn motivate us to create a change, an action that can create a better world, one where everyone has the chance to see a change they see fit. Everyone has their own view on what is a better world, after all. But to get back to the idea that many tablespoons make up a cup, I'd like to share the story of another club, Pinwheel Path, a club dedicated to teaching students in less privileged areas of Vietnam. This time, the club isn't just taking action within the community. They have expanded their circle of impact to include not just our UNIS community, not just inside Hanoi, but also outside Hanoi, in schools farther away. Pinwheel Path has helped build a better world by slowly improving everyone's education and teaching many more students and children who wouldn't have received an education elsewise. Another example that isn't a club could be advocating for a change. I'm sure everyone in middle school and high school remembered the day we received a notice. Our trips were going to be canceled. I had a few classmates who took this opportunity to advocate for a change. They said, perhaps we can take another trip, maybe elsewhere and within Hanoi, to make up for the lost time. And they succeeded. Middle school and even high school ended up getting the opportunity to engage in activities outside of school, helping to build and strengthen our community through allowing us to have time to have fun with our classmates and friends, increasing social connection and a sense of belonging. The point isn't to see an immediate difference in the world. The point is that we continue to work together for shared goals. These shared goals could be anything, from the SDGs to creating a more inclusive school. One thing I've seen at UNIS is a goal connected to SDG 4, quality education. The library has started to include other languages, like Korean and Vietnamese, into the core library of each grade. This has helped include more diverse books into the core library, letting more and more people learn and read about these books, promoting a sense of belonging for those who can finally see their languages in the core library, which is a step towards building a more inclusive school. No one can make the world a better place in one day, so it is up to you. It is your choice. Will you take the first step? Even a small step is still better. Try starting out by offering help, sharing ideas, or even starting a small club. Bigger actions take time. Actions like hosting a litter cleanup event or advocating for changes, whether local or within the school. So, after you leave UN Day today, I want you to think, what is an action I can do today? Something that can help me see a change in the world for everyone and for me. Like how a cup is made up of smaller tablespoons and even teaspoons. Little actions build up a greater impact. What tablespoon will you pour into the cup today? Starting with small actions, 1 tablespoon at a time, we can build not just a cup, but a pint, a quart, and eventually a better world. Thank you.
Thank you, Ming, for your powerful words and showing us all the ways in which we can use our voices to impact the community around us. Our final speaker today is Hyun Kim from grade 11, who will close the speeches with a strong message on how even one voice can be powerful enough to change the world.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Hyun, a junior at UNIS Hanoi. I'd like to start with a funny thought experiment. What would happen if all 8 billion people on Earth jumped at the same time? Yes, something related to earthquakes. The ground would begin to shake, and if the jump happened near the coast, it could trigger a tsunami that falls into 4 to 8 magnitude range earthquakes. The funny thing is, one person's jump won't change the magnitude, but 8 billion people might. Now, let's try something more realistic. When I count to 3, I want everyone to clap once. Is everyone ready? 1, 2, 3. Did you feel that? One clap is small, but when we clap together, it shakes the whole room. That's exactly what change looks like. Individually, our actions may feel small, but together, they create an impact powerful enough to be heard everywhere. Global change doesn't require a special qualification or a fancy resume. Change starts right here, from you and where you are now. Back in April, remember when everyone poured ice water over themselves? From this viral challenge, almost 17 million people joined the USC Speak Your Mind campaign to raise awareness about mental health. And did you know that this campaign raised over $115 million? Think about it. Pouring water on your head may look silly or even meaningless if done alone. But when millions joined, it became a cultural wave that spread awareness and raised millions of dollars. That's the power of collective action. It turns small, even playful acts into a tangible change. And this power grows even stronger when combined with our diversity. We are not all the same. And here in this room, we have students, teachers, faculty, and staffs from over 63 nations. Each of us has different powers, perspectives, and passion. Some of us write, some speak, some build, and some create. Alone, those skills may look small, but together, they form something greater. Our diversity doesn't divide us. It multiplies our impact. Yet this power comes with responsibility. We live in a moment where collective action could cause catastrophic consequences, such as the deforestation of the Amazon. At this moment, about 10 million hectares of forests are lost each year. That's the equivalent of 27 soccer fields disappearing every single minute, including an estimated 137 species and 30% of carbon storage. This is what happens when indifference is multiplied on a global scale. But let's think the opposite. Studies explain that when communities are given collective ownership and legal recognition of their land, deforestation drops dramatically. In the Brazilian Amazon, indigenous territories with collective rights reduced forest loss by nearly 75% compared to areas without such rights. One community's shared decision became proof that protecting what we share can shape the future of the forest and beyond. This is the multi-aspect of collective impact. Power without responsibility can harm, but with collective responsibility can heal. Our collective power must be guided by the right decisions, ethical choices, and inclusive actions. The path we wish to see in our future depends on how we choose to use our ability together. If you're still wondering if small actions can make a global scale difference, just look around. Across our campus, water fountains are installed in almost every building. Every time I walk past by, I notice the refill count rising. This Wednesday, the number I saw was 11,839. Each of those counts represents a cup that was not thrown away. Even saving just 1,000 cups means preventing about 110 kilograms of CO2, roughly what 4 trees absorb in a year. So that number means we've already saved around 1,300 kilograms of CO2, or the same as 35 trees. And that's just from one water fountain. So imagine the impact if we added up every water fountain on our campus. Every refill is proof that action doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. Rather, responsibility can start as small as pressing a refill button and making choices thoughtfully. Because when we combine these small actions together, they become something visible, such as an increasing refill count on a fountain, a cleaner planet, and a shared reminder that change begins with collective action, not individual perfection. Again, changing the world doesn't only happen on global stages. It can happen anywhere, from anyone, including you. So today, I would like to leave you with this message. Change starts with your small action. And that small action is never too small to matter. Change isn't about carrying the entire world on you. Because when we combine the power from every one of us, like claps echoing our collective voice, it is powerful enough to make a better world. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Hayun, for your inspiring speech and reminding us that if one voice can change the world, imagine what the 1,140 young voices in this room could achieve. And now, for the finale of our UN Day celebration, our elementary students will perform Music Changes the World, Words and Music by Jim Papoulis. Please remain seated and welcome our elementary school choir.
one more. Do you have a stand? Stand? Can you stand? Bikin budi ya? Just right here, my friend. Okay? We're gonna move friends, okay? So make sure you're gonna put away the no problem. Yeah, but the socks. Oh yes, that's what we get. Whose shoes are these? You guys wanna put your shoes on, Francis? You friends. Whose shoes are these? Sorry. Okay.
Okay. In order to make a true change in the world, I will pledge to myself acceptance of others and to be more tolerant.
To be a kind, considerate person, I will look within myself.
And only then can I make a real change in the world.
Only then can I make a real change in the world.
Thank you, Elementary Choir, for that beautiful closing performance. We hope today's celebrations have inspired you to use your voice to create a better world.
We hope you enjoyed this year's UN Day, especially with the AI translation made possible by our community's generous donations. Now, to ensure a safe exit, please follow the dismissal instructions carefully. Lunch organizers may leave now, but all other guests, please remain seated until students have left.
There are 3 main photo areas. One is outside the ECC, one is under the library, and the other one is in the new Sports Center Hall under the Gaia. Feel free to capture some special memories before lunch begins at 12 o'clock.
Thank you for sharing our UN Day celebrations!